chimes from the dead.
I love wind chimes. I just hung another one on my front porch. I have three now. I bought it from an older lady, Native American, on a vacation I took recently. I took a picture and sat to listen how it sounded with the wind. The other two shined beautifully when the wind blew, but the new one didn't move or make a sound. I sat a little bit longer as maybe the wind didn't hit it where it was. The wind blew, yet again. The other two rang out, but the new one did not. Annoyed, I decided to deal with it tomorrow. In the middle of the night, I woke up to a loud chiming. It was a different chiming than the ones my wind chimes make, louder, with a louder echo. I immediately get up to find the source of the noise. Looking out the front door, the new wind chime is swinging around as there was a strong wind and chiming loudly. The other two hung completely still. I opened the front door and the wind chime stopped completely. There was no wind. I shut the door and looked out. All three of the wind chimes were just hanging, not moving. Completely freaked out by all this, I rushed back to my bed and make myself go back to sleep. I wake up the next day and tell myself it was just a bad dream. After my normal morning routine, I get ready to go to work. As I walked outside, I decided to check my new wind chime. I tap it with my hand, and to my surprise, it made no noise at all. So I shake it again. Nothing. What the hell? I decided to take it down. I sat it on the couch in my living room and leave for work. After work, I go home and walk inside to pour me a drink. It was a long day and I just felt drained. I finish my drink, then remember the wind chime. I go to the couch to get it, but it's not there. I remember putting it there. I look on the counter and on my bed. Then I hear it, the loud chime. My heart drops as I know I took it down. I slowly walk to the door and look out. There it is, thrashing around loudly while the other two just hung still. I open my door and it immediately goes still. Again, no wind, not even a breeze. I yank it down and throw it in the front yard. I sit down and try to figure out what to do. That's when a car pulls up. It's my Aunt Sylvia. She looks stressed out and runs to me, pulling me into a tight hug.
Oh my God, I was so worried. Why didn't you answer any of my calls? No one has called me.
I tell her, confused. I look down at my phone and realize I didn't have any service.
I guess I don't have service? I normally have great service. That's weird. Your mom and me both had the worst dream last night. Come inside, calm down, and then you can tell me about it.
She nods and follows me inside. But when she crosses the threshold, she freezes.
What is wrong with you?
She was freaking me the hell out.
Someone just walked into your room. Do you have someone here? No, I do not.
I look down the hall toward my room where she's staring at. I don't see anything. But as I start to go investigate, my aunt grabs my shoulder and says,
We need to call the police.
That's when I hear it again, the chiming, louder than before. I run to the door. Sure enough, it's hanging and thrashing violently. I can't take it anymore.
Aunt Sylvia, I don't know what to do. The wind chime, I keep taking it down and it keeps ending up back where it was.
My Aunt Sylvia looks like she's going to pass out.
That's what our dream was about, a wind chime. We both seen the wind chime and then we seen you dead.
She didn't seem to be able to say any more than that. The wind chime was getting louder, and I ran to open the front door. As I did, I heard my bedroom door slam. I looked at the wind chime, but it stood still. My aunt pushed me out and we ran to the car and called the police. The police showed up and searched the house and property, but didn't find anyone. I told my aunt everything and how I got the wind chime. She decided we needed to go back to the lady who sold it to me.
But that's 6 hours away. That's fine. By the time we get to the store, it should be open.
I ran to grab my purse and then found a wooden box to bring the wind chime in. We drove off and 6 hours later pulled up to the store where I bought the wind chime.
Sorry, ma'am. There isn't any Native Americans that work here. Okay, older lady, Hispanic, maybe. She was here. She sold me this wind chime.
I opened the box and showed it to her. She just gasped and looked at me wide-eyed.
How did you get that?
I just told you, the lady sold it to me.
I don't know who sold you that, but that belongs to the founder of this town's wife. It has been hanging above her grave for almost 100 years now.
She picked up her phone and made a call.
You two are in a lot of trouble.
My aunt grabbed my hand. We ran out and sped off.
Where are we going? To jail if we don't get out of here.
We made it back home without any problem.
Now what? I know this sounds crazy, but I know a lady who knows a bit about paranormal things. Paranormal things?
I asked in disbelief. I've never believed in any of the such.
Yes, we're going to see her.
We drove to a house in the middle of town. I would have never noticed the house if my aunt had not brought me here. It was small and it looked abandoned. We approached the door and it opened before we could knock.
Hello, ladies.
Said a voice from the shadows. She sounded like she had smoked a lot in her lifetime.
How can I help you?
She said slowly. My aunt told her everything. Then I showed her my wind chime. She pulled out a cigarette and lit it.
The wind chime has an old soul attached to it. It's trapped and it wants to be free to move on.
Then she went on to saying,
From what it sounds like, the spirit of this lady sold you the wind chime in hopes you could help her.
What can I do?
Take a bead off the wind chime and burn it to ashes with a paper saying her name. Then place the ashes under where the wind chime is hanging, and her soul should release when its energy comes.
But we don't know her name.
I'm sorry. That's all I can do.
How can we find her name? Remember? The lady from the shop said she was the wife to the town's founder. Let's find out who they were.
I thanked her and we left. We took out our phones and searched for the town history but couldn't find anything.
Okay, what about the library?
So we drove to the library and found information about her. She was murdered for practicing dark magic. Her name was Zena. So we went home and did what the lady asked. I put the wind chime up and placed the ashes under it. Then we went inside. I told my aunt she could go home. She insisted she would stay to make sure everything went okay. It was late, so we got ready for bed and went to sleep. I was awoken in the middle of the night, the loud chiming again. I ran to the window and it was thrashing, more violently than ever. I woke my aunt up and we got into the car and went to her house.
We'll go to see the lady in the morning.
The next morning, we went to the lady's house.
Well, maybe it wasn't her spirit.
She said after we told her our results. But the lady at the store said it belonged to her.
It may have already had another spirit attached to it when it was placed above her grave.
We went back to the library and read more. I finally found an article that after Zena was murdered for witchcraft, her husband Katori had killed himself and was found under the wind chime with a note explaining how he was the one doing dark magic and his wife was innocent.
Oh my god, how's that?
My aunt cried out.
We need to go back and do this right.
I told her. We went back to my house, and this time, when I placed the ashes under the wind chime, it chimed out beautifully, and the dust rose up around it and faded away. The wind chime then hung still, swaying slightly, along with the other wind chimes.
I think I'm just gonna take them all down.
I took them down and placed them in a box to bury them in my backyard.
Thanks for your help, Aunt Sylvia.
After that night, I'll never hear a wind chime the same again. When making a purchase, most of the time we don't tend to care who the seller is, as long as we get what we want. But what if the seller is a spirit, reaching from beyond? That's where two realms collide. This story was written by my wife. If you like our stories and wish to hear more, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.